To lead the Skol chant and sound the Gjallarhorn, please welcome the 31st Adjutant General of the Minnesota National Guard, Major General John Jensen.
Well, hello, this is John Randall, Minnesota Vikings legend, and it is my pleasure to say, Minnesota Vikings fans uncensored, are you ready? Keith, get your people up. Let's go. Skol, 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 baby. Let's go.
Hello, Vikings fans. Welcome to the Let's Skol show and week 9 of the offseason. I'm Fish. As always, I'm joined by Mr. Positivity, Cody Bowden. He who greased with smoke Skolful Shack. And our captain, Keith, will be joining us momentarily. He's in the background doing Keith things, getting this thing kicked off. Are the Vikings out on McCarthy? Is the QB fix a little smaller than we think? And the Vikings have already announced some impending roster cuts. Could there be more? After watching the Combine, would you come away with any new draft crushes? Cornerbacks and Safeties are our last free agents to preview, and we're going to do it tonight. We're going to go around the Gjallarhorn with our hot takes and make our Purple Prophecy predictions. And it's been a while, so tomorrow night, we're going to do another Skol and Chill. We're going to get down with you folks, bring you on, talk some stuff, see if anything happened between tonight and tomorrow night. We might be able to talk about, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. But before we jump into all that, let's break this ice. Fellas, with free agency hitting next week, I'd like to ask you, who was one of your favorite free agent signings by the Vikings? Doesn't necessarily need to be the best one, just one free agent signing you really liked.
Oh, I can answer this easy, and I thought it was Brett Favre, especially after watching Christian Ponder drafting him and then just watching him play, and it was like, man, can we get a quarterback over here? And then it was Brett Favre coming out in 2009, and they had to take us to that Niners game to where he threw that back of the end zone touchdown the final seconds of the game to win us it, to really think, oh man, we are a Super Bowl team. This is wild. I haven't felt like this in the past, almost decade, or almost 9 years since that 2001 season. So it would have been Brett Favre. Brett Favre made me the most excited.
Shaq, was it Kirk Cousins?
How'd you guess, Fish? It's like,
I know, man. I just know.
Like the way he came in, demanded $86 million fully guaranteed, and then he took our team to an 8-8 record. Like nobody else could do it like him. If I didn't choose Kirk Cousins, if I didn't choose Kirk Cousins, it would obviously have to be. I can't go with that player. I was going to go with a safety, but he's in legal trouble issues. I think we did sign him as a free agent. So I'm going to go with another player. I'm going to go with Patrick Peterson. He was older when we got him, but he still had a good 2-year run with us. He was that veteran presence. I wanted him in the draft since the Cardinals drafted him because he was that complete cornerback, and at the time he did punt return, kick return, and he locked down the number one receivers. And anytime he caught an interception, there's a chance he could take it back to the house. He did make a key play for us against the Buffalo Bills that time when we was about to lose to Josh Allen. He caught that game-winning interception.
Yep. That was actually pretty exciting, even though that he was older. Just seeing that we signed him, that definitely Oh, really? That was a nice one.
I would go back a little
Barron.
further, guys.
Hmm.
Because as much as I like to joke around about it, I was really excited when we signed Jeff George. I mean, just a team with Randy Moss and a guy with a cannon like that. I was so excited about the possibility. You know, the guy with a strong arm and Randy Moss. That's all I wanted. I wanted him to launch the ball down the field. It didn't quite end up the way I wanted it to, but I mean, we made it to the playoffs and then we got beat by the greatest show on turf. But yeah, I was pretty excited about him.
Could really spin that thing.
He could spin that baby.
The obvious one for me would be Antoine Winfield. Definitely was excited about that. And the way we went about getting him, where it was looking like he was going to go to the Jets through that tampering period. He kind of already agreed. He was on his way to fly out there and sign the contract, but the Vikings intercepted that. Hey, why don't you come talk to us real quick? Hear what we have to say. And they got the interception and ended up signing Antoine Winfield. But the one I did want to bring up tonight was actually Bernard Berrien. I was super excited when we signed him because I remember him on the Bears, and he had some pretty nice games against us. And, you know, he was a pretty nice receiver for the Bears. I think he was a good receiver for us. I think a lot of Viking fans downplay him, you know, pretty hardcore. I don't know what they were expecting him to be, but I felt he was a pretty good wide receiver for us, and I liked him. But I was probably more excited about getting him than he actually lived up to be. But he does have the longest touchdown in our history, right, Shaq?
You know it.
99-yarder from Gus Farrat.
Gus the GOAT.
I think the thing about him, Keith, is, you know, when you're following it behind Randy Moss, everybody says it's either Randy Moss or they're no good, you know?
That's fair.
Yeah, so I think that's where he got sort of the short end of the stick.
But he wasn't Troy Williamson.
Yeah, to be fair, that gap from Randy Moss to all the other receivers, Bernard Berrien closed that gap because Sidney Rice was injured, and then we had to draft Percy Harvin, and that's a long time period from Randy Moss to like Sidney Rice and Percy Harvin. So when we got Bernard Berrien, he actually stepped up. I forgot about Bernard Berrien. He was a good receiver. I liked him.
Jeff George would tell you he could still play. I just heard Randy Moss saying he could still score 10 touchdowns in the season. So, I mean, bring him back.
Tom Brady told Shaquille O'Neal in an interview, I could join the NFL again right now and dominate. I want to see it.
Breaking news.
They didn't make a gray league.
Max Crosby traded to the Ravens.
Are you making that up right now?
Nah. It just happened.
I'm okay with that. I'm actually really okay with that. He didn't come into our division, didn't even come into our conference. He seems like a Ravens player. I bet you he has one good season there and then starts to downslide. I'm okay with that, to be honest. And we just played the Ravens. We won't play them for another 3 years or so. Couldn't have gone to a better place. I would like to see what they got.
Yeah. That will influence the John Greenard talks.
Yeah, maybe Greenard can get traded to the Raiders.
I hope so.
But number one overall?
Into that. Nah. We're gonna keep things realistic tonight, Fish. We're gonna keep things realistic tonight.
Maybe number 2 in the second round.
Hey.
I tell you.
I would take that, and that's it. That's all you got to give me. I don't even need anything else. Like I was talking about. But
perfectly fine.
We'll definitely get to that. But we have been hearing some rumblings regarding free agency, even though free agency does kick off next week with legal tampering starting on Monday, which the most exciting day of the football year is the legal tampering day. That's when all the excitement happens. And, you know, if you're at work, you're not getting any work done because you're just constantly refreshing Twitter because the moves are coming fast and they're coming furious. And then by the time that players can sign on Wednesday, you already know who's going where. Like there's a few surprises maybe, but all the big ones, they happen on Monday. So super excited for that. But before those free agents, we do have to talk about a little comment that was made this weekend regarding JJ McCarthy. I don't even know who Tony Pauline is, but he made a name for himself this weekend for sure by reporting that the Vikings are quietly pushing for an exit strategy with JJ McCarthy and that they are pretty much out on him. They are disappointed with his development and they want to move on. So we all know that the Vikings already plan to bring in some kind of competition and to challenge JJ McCarthy for the starting spot. But do you guys think there's a chance that KOC and the rest of the organization is just out on JJ McCarthy and they seen what they need to see and they're ready to move on?
It's tough. I would say there's some truth to it that they are ready to move on, just because we saw what happened to Josh Rosen and Zach Wilson, how those teams, especially Zach Wilson, how they kept him along for all the way up to those 4 years and 5 years, and then his trade value was just not good at all because he was never developing at all. So I can see some truth to it, just to be, because this is probably the highest you'll get McCarthy's trade value at. And if you wanted to trade him, it's now to trade him to get any kind of value back on him. But that's still iffy to me.
You think he has trade value right now?
I think he has some sort of trade value, not like Zach Wilson, where you just cut him and then a team will think about picking him up.
I don't think he has much trade value, especially if a team is trying to trade a guy who's on the third year of his rookie contract. Like, okay, you're just trying to get rid of this guy. I don't think they're out on him. I really don't. I don't think they're ready to cut bait after the one season because he did show some things. He showed he wasn't ready, that's for sure. And it looks like they're gonna do something about that. But he did show some flashes that I think are worth holding on to and working to continue and developing on. So we've said it many times in here. It's okay if they go the Jordan Love route and they have another quarterback this year and he has 1 year to prove it. And I think that he will get that opportunity. I don't think that they're telling anybody that they're out on JJ McCarthy.
Somebody trying to get likes and clicks.
Yeah, pretty much. I believe more so the Vikings are looking, but it's kind of like you want to check all the boxes just in case, JJ McCarthy can't improve. We need a better answer than what we had last year, because obviously that didn't work. So they trying to not repeat what happened last year when JJ McCarthy got hurt and we really didn't have no clear-cut answer behind him. So to avoid all that, I feel like we need a borderline starter or a better backup than what we had last year. So I guess the Vikings are just trying to check that box of, if JJ is not ready, what can we do and what can we get for him now versus what can we get from him in the future. But I don't think we traded him. I don't think they gave up on him yet.
Cody, would you take a third round pick from him right now?
Oh yeah, 100%. That's not what he's gonna be worth.
Damn.
100%. He's not even at that trade. I think he's worth probably maybe a high end fourth, a high later round fourth. That's probably.
What about you, Fish? You taking a third rounder for JJ McCarthy right now?
No, I'm not trading him. Hell no, I'm not trading JJ.
Cody over there with 2 jerseys, 3 if you count his wife's, and he's trading him for a third round. You got $300 invested in that man, plus the cards.
Well, I sold the cards and they went cheap.
Damn, I would have bought them off of you.
Well, next year when they blow up, because he's got a Pro Bowl season under his belt and maybe a Super Bowl appearance, then you're gonna feel the same way as if the Vikings would have traded him.
What about you, Shaq? Are you taking that third rounder?
No. I'm not taking that third rounder because there's still hope for him to develop. Pretty much, I don't feel comfortable getting another third round pick. Third round picks usually don't pan out for us unless we do a little trade package. So I'd rather bank on the potential of having JJ McCarthy and hopefully, he develops, even if it's just a little. Worst case scenario, he could be a career backup for us.
How about this? So you're saying third round pick. If McCarthy was redrafted, where would he be drafted at? What round?
In this draft?
Yeah. Or in 2000, go back to 2024. Where would he be drafted at?
Why you gotta go back to 2024?
Let's go back to the draft. Let's just redo a redraft. Where will he be drafted at?
Pick number 11 instead of pick 10.
He should have been drafted in the second
spot.
round. Well, I wanted him second round.
So Cody's the only one that's traded in him for a third rounder right now. Yeah, I want to hold on to him. I want to see this thing out. No matter what we end up doing this season, I'm okay if it's not JJ's year. I do think no matter what happens, it's hard for a quarterback to play 17 games. So I do think he will get a chance at some point this year. But it could be, a situation where he does get competition and he could beat that person out. But how down do you guys get if they bring in somebody that is competition? Like, they don't bring in somebody who's an obvious day one starter. They bring in competition and JJ loses that battle.
Oh, it's over with.
That's a wrap?
That's a wrap, man. If he can't beat out somebody that is competition for him, and it's probably none of the players that have been talked about in free agency so far, but if it's one of the players that haven't been talked about that comes over here, i.e. a Jameis Winston or something like that out of nowhere, and he doesn't beat them out, it's a wrap. His trade value went to the floor.
Excuse me. Jameis Winston is the Elvis Presley of NFL quarterbacks, and you will not slander his name. Of course, McCarthy can't beat him out.
Oof.
Also, what complicates things is Adam Schefter reported that the Vikings want to bring back Carson Wentz. And he said that they still want to bring in another veteran on top of that. So now what does this quarterback room look like? Let's say, they bring in Kirk Cousins. They bring in Carson Wentz. They have JJ McCarthy. What's the situation there?
Then they still believe in JJ McCarthy this year. I think that's the situation. Those are three quarterbacks that he can beat out. And if he doesn't, then yeah. I think shows that they still believe in McCarthy for this year to be their starter.
If that's the situation,
I think Kirk would be the starter going into week 1. I think Wentz would be there just in case there's some sort of regression in training camp by McCarthy. But if there isn't, then I think Wentz gets cut.
And see, that'd be crazy to me to think that Wentz is going to sign somewhere where it's like, you're not guaranteed at least a backup spot. So I don't know about that report. I mean, it did come from Schefter, so, pretty much believe anything he says, but he's going to have other opportunities where his worst case scenario is he's the backup. Like our boy Yogi just said, the Jets. He could probably go get that starting job, but worst case scenario, he's going to be quarterback too.
I honestly think that if it was going to be somebody more prominent like Cousins, right, Shaq? Prominent Cousins, right, Shaq? If it was going to be somebody more prominent like Cousins, he would have been the lead on the headline. But when they say that want to bring back Wentz and another, veteran quarterback, they're probably talking about Mike White or somebody who's not going to challenge, just somebody else who isn't. In case the shit hits the fan with 9, they've got a couple of veteran quarterbacks in the house that they can rely on. It's not going to be somebody that's going to challenge for the starting position if they're the other veteran quarterback. They're just not going to have Max Brosmer as QB3. That's just the plan to not ever have him see a football field again.
That's unfortunate.
All right. We let's just go ahead and stop beating around the bush right now. The talk of the day has been Kyler Murray, so let's go ahead and start talking about that. Earlier this week, the Cardinals had announced that they're going to be moving on from Kyler Murray, and naturally, the Vikings became a name that came up because everybody knows that they're in search of bringing in a quarterback, whether it's for competition or it's to be a starter. Which, if Kyler Murray comes in, he's the starter. That's not a competition. He's coming here to be the starter. And normally, I wouldn't be too thrilled to have Kyler Murray coming in at this point. But you might be getting him for like $1.5 million. And to me, that's an opportunity you can't pass up. The Cardinals owe him $36 million guaranteed. So this is the Russell Wilson deal where if a team signs him, whatever they pay him, it just takes away from what the Cardinals owe him. So he's going to sign a league minimum somewhere. And the Vikings, Jets, Dolphins, Falcons are the names that I've seen as a suitor. And the Vikings just make the most sense because Fish, as you know, he grew up a Vikings fan just like us. He went through, the NFC Championship loss just like us in his Vikings jersey. And another factor to this is we play the Arizona Cardinals this year in Arizona. So he will have that chance for the revenge game. What are your guys' thoughts on what we're hearing about Kyler Murray potentially joining the Minnesota Vikings?
Oh, I'm excited for it just because you're bringing in a guy that's probably the most talented quarterback in the free agency class right now for $1.3 million at the vet minimum to be the starter. But it also shows if McCarthy develops and is better, not only do you have two good quarterbacks now, but you show that McCarthy is developed and ready to go, and you probably have arguably the best backup quarterback in the league. So it's like a win-win. Why not bring the most talented quarterback off free agency in here? If he's the starter, awesome. If McCarthy becomes the starter because he's developed, even that's way better, right? So I'm all for the Kyler Murray move. Make it happen.
You think that JJ McCarthy has a chance to still be quarterback one this season if Kyler Murray signed?
Depends on the development. It's $1.3 million. It's nothing to Minnesota. Nothing. Right. So
right, but you don't think Kyler Murray's signing that without some kind of guarantee that he's the starter?
There's no guarantee. You ain't gonna put you're the starter in that contract.
It's kind of like when Seattle signed that quarterback. I can't remember his name.
Matt Flynn.
He came from, they signed Flynn from Green Bay, and he was supposed to be the starter. And then they drafted Russell Wilson in the 3rd round, and then all it took was that preseason, and Russell Wilson became the starter. And it was basically a change of plans. So it's possible that JJ McCarthy.
It's kind of the same. It's kind of the same. Flynn went from a backup making backup minimum money to he got paid by the Seahawks. So it's like it wasn't like, hey, I'm giving you this benefit of getting me cheap, but in return, you gotta tell me I'm your starter because I can go sign somewhere else and be the starter. The Seahawks still paid that man a lot of money.
Yeah, okay. You're the starter. JJ McCarthy blows him out of the water in practice. As a business and organization, you're not starting Kyler Murray. You just cut him and just take the 1.3 dead. All right, 1.3 is nothing to us right now.
Go ahead, Fish.
Kyler Murray's going to be straight booty cheeks playing for the Vikings if he's the starter. He's a 3 inches shorter JJ McCarthy in his gameplay and his style. He's not going to do shit. If you're pinning your hopes on Kyler Murray taking us to the promised land, I got a bridge to sell you and some beachfront property in Arizona. He ain't going to do nothing. The only 3 good things about Kyler Murray being our starter is 1, he's cheap. 2, he gets us guaranteed to be within shooting distance of a top 5 pick in next year's draft. And 3, we have a new head coach, maybe even before the end of the year.
Woo!
I was not expecting that, Michael Fish, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. I hope everybody in the chat enjoyed that. Cody.
Yeah, that's not true at all. I'm sorry. He's the most talented quarterback in the class. Why not get him at
the Yeah, he's going to do great in KOC's system.
He might. Let's see. He comes out the den. What if he's not the starter? It's $1.3 million that you can just offload and be like, yeah, I'm cool with it.
And that's the next question I did want to ask you guys is, how do you think that Kyler Murray works inside of KOC's offense and scheme? He got mad with Dobbs when Dobbs was kind of, free balling and playing loose and not sticking to the script. He gets mad when, JJ McCarthy was doing some stuff running with the ball. Kyler's going to do that a lot. He's not a pocket passer. He can't be a pocket passer. His size doesn't allow him to be a pocket passer.
Preach.
Yeah, okay. Well, if you still believe in JJ McCarthy, he's going to still do the same things. So why not get a veteran in here who's going to do the same things and then start adapting your playbook to it instead of
nobody's saying if we sign JJ McCarthy tomorrow, we're a Super Bowl contender. No. Nobody's throwing the hype train and saying we're going to be something if we have JJ McCarthy as our starter. Everybody's saying, well, if we get Kyler, oh yeah.
No, you need a running back to add with McCarthy.
Let me just say that Kyler's going to be shit. He ain't gonna do shit for us.
So I guess I'll jump in now.
What's up, Shaq?
Pretty much the difference between Kyler and Joshua Dobbs is like the difference between Brett Favre and
Sean Mannion.
I'm trying to think of a backup quarterback we had. Let's go with Sean Mannion. It's a huge difference. Yeah, they both could throw the ball, but there's a huge difference from when Kyler Murray throws the ball and completes a pass versus Joshua Dobbs. Joshua Dobbs cannot run no offense. He haven't ran a complete offense in his whole NFL career until he got to the NFL. He was okay at Tennessee. He was decent when he played for the 4 or 5 teams he played for before he even got to Minnesota. He hasn't really won before he got here. Kyler Murray showed that he could win games. He won games in college, and he won games in Cardinals. Kyler Murray, when he had DeAndre Hopkins healthy and still in his prime, was one of the best quarterbacks in the league. That is why people forget. That is why he got paid, because he was one of the best quarterbacks. He was in MVP talks. Joshua Dobbs never touched MVP talks. And KOC never coached a quarterback of that caliber. The best quarterback he coached, I would say, was Sam Darnold.
I would say it was Nick Mullins.
I wasn't trying to compare Josh Dobbs to Kyler Murray in any way, except that, the way they play, they run, they scramble, and they don't stick to the script. Kyler Murray does those things better. But we've seen KOC not look too happy when Dobbs has done that and turned it into a touchdown.
Yeah.
And you got to also look at Kyler Murray's trying to reverse his career around, right? So he is going to listen to what KOC has to say.
But he can't.
Why?
He's not tall enough.
Yeah, it's tall.
Like he can't stand in the pocket. So I mean, it's kind of on KOC if this is the route they go. Like he's got to know what he's in for.
But why can't
the guy can't stand in the pocket?
Because he's too short.
How tall is Drew Brees?
Yeah, Drew Brees stood in the pocket just fine. It's the same height.
Drew Brees had like 2 inches on him. I just had to look this up a couple days ago.
So it's kind of like as long as Kyler listens to KOC, first read is probably going to be Justin Jefferson.
Oh, my God. I just realized how wrong I was, because KOC's system requires the quarterback to drop back so far that the curvature of the earth will allow him to see over the head of the offensive lineman to throw downfield. Now, if Kyler Murray had to do a 3-step drop and fire, we wouldn't stand a chance because he wouldn't be able to do it. But because he has to do that 17-step drop for every snap, yeah, he'll be able to look over the horizon, see, the dagger route. He'll be able to make all them throws.
Well, that is what Kyler Murray does, though. Like if you watch his highlights, he takes the ball and he does run back and curls around, and then he makes his throw. I mean, that is he doesn't need KOC for that. That's just what he does.
And he does have a cannon,
a double cannon. All right.
So I trust Kyler Murray to throw it deep, because people forget that is also something KOC likes to do in his offense, which is throw the ball deep, get his receivers one-on-one, and usually 8 times out of 10, Jonathan Addison or Justin Jefferson will come down with the ball and score a touchdown. They like to stretch the field. Last year, we tried to stretch the field, but the connection between JJ and his receivers wasn't always there. So with Kyler Murray, I'm pretty sure the connection will still be there, and that gives us a chance to get JJ to learn the offense, get better reads, and basically become a better quarterback, and we don't have to rush him to be a better quarterback now.
I mean, what he will do is give the receivers a chance to run their long developing routes.
Yeah.
And historically, Kyler Murray has been a very accurate quarterback, even though the last 2 seasons on deep balls, he's been one of the worst. But he's also had some injuries and hasn't played on great teams. I think it'd be different if he was throwing to Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. When he was good on deep balls, he had a guy by the name of DeAndre Hopkins. So he kind of, gets to DeAndre Hopkins when you have Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. And Hopkins actually just tweeted something about if JJ and Kyler Murray together, they're going to be a problem. Shaq does make some good points. Hey, Jay, you make some good points too. I heard Judd yelling at you.
Attaboy, Jay.
I'm just trying to make a best case scenario out of a bad situation we're in. It's not always fun to think negatively, even though the Vikings cause us to drink IPAs and other stuff. So it's just like, think about the good case and the worst case, and try to find it in between, because nobody could predict what's going to happen in next year NFL season. For all we know, Jordan Love can win MVP, and everybody gonna be looking for the next Jordan Love. So anything's possible in this league.
That's why Cody, I said he's a very accurate passer historically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, years, not so much. Huh?
He had an 85.1 PFF score in 2025 while in the pocket.
Wow, now we're going to rely on PFF.
He has a 76.5% catchable ball rate while in the pocket.
And an average pass of 7 yards.
Yeah, his most inconsistencies when he's outside the pocket.
When will the Vikings officially sign a GM? They said they won't be signing a GM until after the draft, if they do it all. I don't know.
The new owners will do
it. I'm losing faith in that happening at this point, Fish. But every time the GM question gets brought up, I ask, what is Grigson still doing here?
Doing what I
so
wish
it seems like most people in the chat are in on Kyler Murray, and I just wonder, and let me know in the chat, are you guys in on Kyler Murray because you think he's a good quarterback? He can come in and win a playoff game with us. I'm not going to start throwing Super Bowl out there, but do you think Kyler Murray can come into this team, take us to the playoffs, and win a playoff game? Or do you just think, well, he's better than JJ McCarthy and he's cheap? Like, what is the reasoning that you are down to have Kyler Murray come in and be our quarterback this year? Because in my opinion, it's just a rental. Because unless Kyler Murray does amazing, like he can come in and be solid, but I don't think the Vikings are going to turn around and give him $50 million contract after that.
Yeah,
somebody else will.
You have to deep run it. If he does what Sam Darnold did, wins 14 games, Minnesota's not going to let him go. They're going to pay him.
All right, Fish. Jay Vikings has asked this 3 times, and I've ignored him. He's asking, what is the quarterback option for you if it's not going to be Kyler Murray? And I do have a list of names that have been kind of linked to us through the media.
We're going to go into this season, unless we sign Kyler Murray, with JJ McCarthy as QB1 and Carson Wentz as his backup.
Ouch.
Run it back.
I see, Fish, you had all that thunder, and now you just lost a little bit of it because I don't see a scenario where that's what they do.
Well, let me just tell you right now, if we do sign Kyler Murray as our starting quarterback, I'll be peeling at least 2 wins off of our record that I had in my head. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to make a prediction that we will have, if he plays more than 12 games, we will have the 6th pick in the draft next year.
Wow.
Ass.
So you think that the Vikings are going to have a better record if JJ McCarthy is the starter than if Kyler Murray is the starter, Fish?
Absolutely.
We didn't even.
I think if Kyler Murray's our, I don't even want to say his last name right. If Kyler Murray starts, we will get swept by the Packers and the Lions next year.
What did Kyler Murray do to you, Fish? Are you? Wait, hold on. You're doing your thing, aren't you? You're doing your thing. Enough said. Sorry, I made it awkward, but yeah. If it's not Kyler Murray, though, who do you guys like on this list to come in?
Realistically, I'll say Rodgers is going to stay with the Steelers, so he's off my list. Matt Jones is going to stay with the 49ers because nobody's going to take his contract or trade the 49ers what they want. So he's off my list. Daniel Jones is sticking with the Colts. Wentz, I guess, would be the only realistic option I'll take.
Wait, who?
Wentz. That's the only realistic option I'll take. I'm not taking no Kirk Cousins.
What about Geno Smith?
I'll take Geno.
On the side, heard Shaq.
I'll take Geno. It's just Carson Wentz know the offense. That's the only reason I give him a little edge over Geno.
Well, knowing the offense didn't help him too much last year. Yes, he looked decent, but we were still 2-3 with him, and he only had half a body by the end of the 5th game. Geno Smith is also kind of under that Russell Wilson deal, whereas the Raiders owe him $18.5 million, so he could probably also be signed for the veteran minimum. And I do think he plays more of a KOC style football.
Yeah, he's more of a pocket passer.
Yeah, he is.
He's not nearly as talented as Kyler. Look, let me say this. In a different system with a little bit more flexibility, I would be excited to have somebody as talented as Kyler with what he brings to the table. But KOC wants a pocket passer who's going to stand in there and make a dozen reads and then deliver the ball.
JJL, what can't you believe?
He's talking about Geno Smith. He said he's the worst quarterback.
You know what's funny is I expected most Viking fans to be like JJL in the comments as being about Geno Smith. But honestly, if you go on X and you look up Geno Smith Vikings, most of it is positive. There's people that are actively rooting for Geno Smith to come in. And I don't know if that's because they feel Geno Smith gives us a great chance to win or if they're just JJ McCarthy haters. But it's mostly a positive reception to Geno Smith as being a Viking quarterback.
I'm going to tell you right now, let's just say we do a little more magic on the cap and we make a couple of really good signings and have us a good draft to where we're going to be a contender with the right quarterback. And it actually pains me to say this, but in that list, I want Kirk Cousins.
What?
I don't hate Kirk Cousins to be our quarterback this year, but I think I put Kirk Cousins kind of in the Kyler Murray bin. Whereas if Kirk comes here, I think he's quarterback 1.
I do too.
Quarterback 1. Geno, I think that's a competition.
What? Okay. What?
And Kirk Cousins is better than Geno Smith right now?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
As a coach, what are you as a coach, are you supposed to change your scheme to play to the strengths of the quarterback?
If you're a smart one, you adjust.
Yeah, so that tells me if you're adding Geno and you're not adjusting your strengths to like changing up a scheme to the quarterback, JJ McCarthy's never going to figure out this offense thing. He's never going to be good in it. I'm sorry. You're going to try to take a whole mechanical level, the whole way he's played football his whole life, to what you've done for being a head coach over 5 years.
Signing Geno would just be rubbing our face in it by signing the guy that Seattle traded away to sign Darnold.
So I was going to get to that. It's a win-win if we sign Geno, because if we sign Geno, that either means we're going to have the number 1 pick or we're going to win the Super Bowl in 2028.
Well, I mean,
that's a win-win.
So it sounds like if we sign Geno or if we sign Kyler Murray, we're going to be drafting in the top 5, according to you and Fish. Win-win.
Win-win.
I'm cool with keeping Kyler out there and just have him as the guinea pig as you fix your scheme throughout the season. And then when it's finally fixed, you throw McCarthy in there to run it.
JJL asked, "Is Burrow off the table?" I don't think Burrow was ever on the table.
Yeah.
It gave us something to talk about for a week or two while we were transitioning into the off season, and I'm sure that's what it was for other sources of media. I don't think Joe Burrow was ever on the table. Why would the Bengals do that?
Yeah.
Unless the NFL team is trading like 4 first-round picks, and right now, I don't think any NFL team feel comfortable trading that much for Joe Burrow, and the Bengals don't want to trade him to begin with. So
You would have known if Joe Burrow was gone and when they re-signed Trey Hendrickson, and they didn't re-sign Trey Hendrickson.
If
So
the
Vikings also asked, did KOC not learn his lesson last year? No, because the presser he and Kwesi gave at the end of the season was throwing McCarthy under. We got to win with better quarterback play. You even look at halftime adjustments, right? You make halftime adjustments to make things go. You figure stuff out. Oh, that's a great question.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Does KOC learn from last year? I do think he learned. That's why he's made an emphasis on all the coaching that he brought in being running style coaches. I do think there are going to be changes to his offense. Now, to what degree? I don't know. I do think he does want to pass the ball. And yes, there is adjusting to your quarterback's needs, but there's also your philosophy. You can't lose your philosophy. Like, this is what made you a coach. This is why you're here. So last year, should he have adapted? Yes, because there was nowhere to go with it. Now it's kind of starting over, and it's like, okay, well, this is the offense I want to run. I need somebody who could do it. If there's someone out there that can go do it, and I can go get them, I'm going to go do that.
Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, then I'm thinking McCarthy's done. I think that first line was.
I think McCarthy can do it, man. I really do. I just don't think he was ready to.
He could maybe progress. Like right now, and I haven't seen McCarthy throw a ball yet this year, but just from the end of last year, if you took Kirk Cousins right now, JJ McCarthy at the end of last year, and you said, who's the best guy to be under center? Or, pardon me, they don't really go under center in KOC system that much. Who's the best guy to be shot in shotgun? I would go with Kirk. I'm not saying that's the end for McCarthy. I'm just saying he ain't at that level yet.
What's up, Boyd? I agree. I think Kirk Cousins would be good for 1 year. And I was not a big Kirk Cousins fan, but he did some nice things in this offense. Like, we would be a playoff team, I believe. And I know that he didn't look great on the Falcons, but we have a better offense than the Falcons outside of the running back position until we get Love in the draft, Shaq. So
yeah,
I do.
We're going to trade Greenard for a high second rounder and use that to package to move up.
We have a better system. Kirk feels more comfortable playing with us, and he did look good the last 5 games that he played. Like McCarthy, Kirk looked good in those last 5 games of the season.
Shaq's I'm sick of this.
Well, the good thing is we probably only have to talk about this for another few days. This could be over tomorrow. If the Cardinals make the cut tomorrow, Kyler could sign tomorrow.
Hey, Shaq, check your X real quick to make sure that Kirk hasn't been cut and signed by somebody else real fast, just to end this.
Gino could be signed tonight. Gino might be a Viking before the show is over.
That's kind of scary, too, knowing Kyler. He's not cut yet. And let's say a team slips under the rug and just slips out a trade offer.
Good for them.
As long as it's not us, I'd be ecstatic.
Right.
I don't want that short bum.
Like I said, $1.3 million for Kyler Murray. Okay, I'm down. I'll go see that movie. If it was like he was a free agent, but he's looking for $25 million, I'd be out on that.
I think we have a better chance of making the playoffs with McCarthy than we do with Gino.
But the thing is, if we get Gino, we get to find out who's the better one, because I think that's a competition. Like you're saying Murray and JJ McCarthy's going to be a competition. It's not. That's going to be Kyler Murray's job until it ain't.
Well, I'm not saying it's a competition. I'm saying if McCarthy beats him out, then awesome. He developed, right? But if Gino comes in here and he runs the same offensive scheme and it's the same team. I don't think we make the
You know,
playoffs.
there's one thing y'all have been making me nervous about earlier. You were saying you were comparing to the Russell Wilson contract or whatever, and I keep thinking about how what Denver traded for Russell Wilson and then extended him like $250 million before he ever took a snap, and then he just sucked. And they ate what $84 million in dead cap one year just to get rid of him.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of a comparison to Russell Wilson at all.
Well, we're not doing that. Like, what we're talking about the Russell Wilson is like, who did he sign with after the Broncos? Was that the Steelers?
Yeah.
Like, he signed with them for like $1 million while the Broncos were paying him. That's why it's the Russell Wilson deal.
I guess it still makes me itch. Thinking, ugh.
Why does everybody think Jameis Winston's an option? He's still under contract.
I love Jameis Winston as an option. Not everybody hates that. Give me that magic.
No, Russ wasn't that bad. He just didn't get along with Sean Payton. Sean Payton didn't like Russell.
Do you remember why?
Because his playbook is ass.
No, because Russ was trying to bring his entourage in and do things like a diva superstar, and Sean was like, "Oh hell no, get that shit out of here."
Yeah.
So there are people saying that Kyler Murray is asking for a 2-year deal. I don't know how that works. No, and someone else said it earlier, and it's kind of been floated around that they probably do a 2-year deal. I don't know how that works out with the money that the Cardinals owe him. Like, do we get him for $1 million and then we could pay him the next year? Or if we sign him to like a 2-year, $50 million deal, that $36 million gets wiped out. Like, I don't know how that works. I wish I did. If somebody in the comments knows, please let me know. Because
that would be ideal.
No, that wouldn't make sense.
No, it would not.
Because now we're not getting him for $1.3 million anymore.
Well, if that's the case, I'm just saying it would be ideal because to avoid the Sam Donald situation of only having him for 1 year and then now we got to blow the bag on him. So if we sign him for 2 years, he does well, we could trade his ass and then have JJ McCarthy finally be ready for this offense.
Well, we got 2 cap wizards in the building. And
yeah, they know
the
the answer to the question. They know the answer to the question. I wish they were in the chat right now.
Yeah.
What happened to our cap wizard? We used to have
JJL asking the real questions.
Keenum's a free agent. And I tell you what, he's better than Max Brosmer.
It's only because Max Brosmer did not get enough time to start. If he had enough time to start and get more reps in, he might just be NFL ready.
Why won't he be 1.3? Rinaldi says he's not going to be 1.3. That's a pipe dream.
That's not.
Why wouldn't he be 1.3?
If I'm McCarthy, I'm looking at KOC and the Minnesota Vikings best landing spot. I watched what happened to Sam Darnold. If I can do the same thing, I'm going to get paid the next year in fully guaranteed money. And I'm going to have access years after that. Like that, this is the best situation for Kyler.
Yeah.
For his pocketbook.
Yeah, for the next 2027. But he's got to play well to earn that, though.
Overall, like they say, the teams like that's most likely to land him would be the Vikings, the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Falcons. Not just his pocket. This is the best place for him to play.
Mm-hmm. And he has to do well, or he doesn't get that pocket full of money. Like, why not bring him in? He's going to try to play as hard and as well.
Rinaldi, why would they give him 10? They give him $1 million, he's going to make 36 this year. They give him 10 million, he's going to make 36 million this year. They give him 20, he's going to make $36 million this year. So the only way he makes more than $36 million is if the Vikings give him more than $36 million, which is not going to happen.
Viking Skoler, we don't have time for a quarterback to get to his third option anyways. We'd be lucky to have a quarterback get to his second read.
Well, that's the thing. Kyler Murray does make the time to get through all those reads.
I think Kyler planned this. He played this out. He's like, "Yeah, you can release me," because I already know I got somewhere out there that has 2 stud wide receivers, a tight end, an offensive line that was built, a nasty defense that I can do something with. I know that that's the way I'm getting paid. If I go to the Jets, I'm not getting paid. I want.
That's where I want Kirk to go, is to the Jets. I need Kirk to go to the Jets.
To get murdered.
No, so he could go get paid.
Hey.
Go prove his legacy. Take the Jets to the Super Bowl.
Our offense would be pretty damn interesting if we did get Kyler Murray and we do get a running back. I mean, I like Jordan Mason. I like him a lot, but if we can get like a top tier running back and Jordan Mason, and then you have Addison and you have Justin Jefferson, I think the offensive line is going to be pretty good this year. The offense might be something to see.
Mm-hmm. It just needed like a spark. I feel like you needed something entertaining in it. Very bland last year. And who else is more entertaining than Kyler Murray?
Jay, that is correct. If we give him 1.3, that is 1.3 less that the Cardinals have to pay. Whatever we give Kyler Murray subtracts from what the Cardinals have to pay him, but Kyler Murray does not get any more money than what he's already guaranteed to get.
Yeah, he's going to make $36 million this year.
It's just who's cutting the check. And if he's coming to the Vikings, why would he want to put them in further cap struggles?
True. There we go.
I hate the trade Addison talk. It makes zero sense. Sorry. You can pick his 5th-year option up and then make him a contract where you have guaranteed money. You're only paying him $17 million this year. And then after that, he's going to get in the high 20s. Like, you pick up the 5th-year option.
It's because our fan base is horny for draft picks.
We got like 10 of them. We got like 9 or 10 of them this year. I'm excited for the draft. I'm actually excited for the draft. And Addison is not getting traded. His 5th-year option is about to get picked up. He's not getting traded.
Like, what did we do with Jefferson when we extended him to be richest stuff? He only made $3 million in that year. Then he made all that money the following years. Like, that's what's going to happen to Addison. You keep that and that cap number. You save money actually that first year, and we're already in cap hell. So,
yeah, I can see it. I can see what Cody's saying. They're going to pick up the 5th year and do the extension to make cap space next time we're in trouble with the cap to be able to sign somebody. Mm-hmm. As much as I am behind trading Addison, I see the intelligence in that. I just
not going anywhere.
For me, it's like, how can we make last year offense better if we kept the same core? That would be the mindset entering this offseason and draft.
Okay, so Shaq, do you think that our offensive line will play at the better level that we saw the last half of the season going into this season?
So they did get better throughout the season, as we could attest to, because, we went to the week 2 home opener game and offensive line was having it was an open border. Towards the end of the season, our offensive line started to protect our quarterback better. And, they, as you can see, whether it be JJ McCarthy or Brosmer or Wentz, when they actually had time, the plays was there. So
that's the first big step, right? I think that the offense will pick up because if the line shows continuity and plays at that level to start the season, and then Hawkinson. I think Hawkins is the key to what you're saying because he's really the weak link, right? He was really the weak link of all of our skill positions. Can't really run a route, didn't really have many catches.
Yeah, and then, Justin Jefferson and Addison did have some key drops on, like, downs. to where they could have caught the ball to extend drives. So it's like a lot of bad plays happen, like hit or miss. As in, it should have been catches that should have landed, and we could have extended drives, and then maybe got a first down or maybe got a touchdown here and there. Those first downs and touchdown drops that they had could have extended games or maybe made us win 3 more games than we lost. And if we won 3 more games last year, we'd been in the playoffs. Not saying we would win a Super Bowl or win a playoff game, but it's just key plays on certain downs could change the outcome of a lot of games we lost.
I think what could change the outcome of a lot of games is having this same quarterback room you do heading into OTAs rather than the first game of the year. I think if Carson Wentz came in during OTAs and was part of this team throughout that process, I think instead of winning just 2 games, maybe he wins that 3rd game and we're in the playoffs.
We didn't even need to win 3 more games. We need to win 1 more game.
1 more, just like get a quarterback room you enter OTAs with, and where you just have to kick one person out and not sign a guy right before the first week of the NFL season. That's a terrible quarterback room to head into.
So Lo wants everybody to know that she does not want to take Kyler Murray, and she wants that on record. And I want to put it on record, as you see scrolling at the bottom. We will be live again tomorrow night doing a Skol and Chill, and that's where we invite all of you guys in the audience to come on camera with us, and we talk Vikings, we talk NFL, and we talk whatever else comes up during the Skol and Chill. Skol and Chill is just a hangout for us Vikings fans, and we hope some of you that have been in the chat will come on and talk with us. So that'll be happening tomorrow night. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and hit the like button on this show. Sorry to cut you off, Fish, but I had to get that out.
Oh, no, I appreciate it, man. That's business. I don't even remember what I was going to say, to be honest with you.
I was worried about that.
I was too enamored. I was too enamored in you giving that good readout.
Squirrel.
And then
okay, I remember. I asked the question. What seed were the Indiana Bears last year? 3?
4?
No, wasn't Tampa Bay the 4th? Who's the 3? Yeah.
It was 3.
Carolina.
They won the division.
Carolina was 4.
And the Eagles were 2, right?
Eagles are yeah.
Okay, so I'm just saying 3 more wins, and could we have been the 2 seed?
Oh, maybe 3 more. We could have been the 2 seed, maybe. Yeah, especially if one of those wins was against the Eagles.
Yeah, which was a winnable game.
Very winnable game.
Yeah, it was.
So it's like 3 more wins, we would have been in the playoffs. Not saying we won a playoff game or won a Super Bowl, but we would probably been in the best situation that we was dealt. So I think TJ Hawkinson, he'll probably take a pay cut, more fit into his role now. And we could actually handle TJ Hawkinson on a cheaper contract, because we don't need an all-star tight end. We just need, a competent tight end, because the Rams didn't have an all-star tight end. They just had a competent one to,
I
get
love
the
your
first down here and
optimism.
there. Hey, I'm just saying, TJ Hawkinson point of view, like, he knows he don't have a big market out there.
Well, I need Hawkinson back because the Rams signed Higbee back. So that was my guy. And I think he will be back. But the Vikings did start making some cuts, maybe not officially, but they've at least announced some cuts that will be being made. And they came in today $46 million over the cap. So what we know is going to end up happening, Aaron Jones is being cut. Javon Hargrave is being cut. And Jonathan Allen is being cut. That's going to save us $25 million, getting us closer. Was that guess need $21 million more? Then they restructured Justin Jefferson, Christian Darrisaw, Byron Murphy Jr., which saved another $37 million. We are in the green. On top of that, Ryan Kelly went ahead, did us a favor, did himself a favor, did his family a favor, and retired, which saved us another $8.5 million. So overall, We were negative $46 million going into the day. Now we have like $26 million, and there's still moves that can be made. Like you guys have kind of been alluding to, something has to be done with Hawkinson's contract, whether he's cut, takes a pay cut, or is restructured. Something's got to happen with Brian O'Neill. He's scheduled to make $23 million, but none of it's guaranteed. So they'll probably work out something where he plays, a little bit cheaper, but gets extended years, gets some guaranteed money. And then there's also Jonathan Greenard, which something will probably be happening with him, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But Fish, would you extend Brian O'Neill to smooth out that money, or would you cut him and take the 19?
How old is he?
Like 32.
No, why you ask hard questions? I think he's like 31 or something, maybe 32.
Look, the right side of our offensive line is going to be the weakness this year.
He's 30.
Because
He's 30.
he's okay, but I just don't think he's good enough to offset Will Fries. Will Fries is the one free agent signing last year that seemed to slip through the net so far. He didn't get thrown out. He didn't get thrown out with the trash. So, hey, Fish, what's your other option for right tackle then?
Thanks.
We fucking draft one. Okay.
So, Fish, to be clear, you're cutting O'Neill and getting the $19 million in savings.
Yeah, I got to take that $19 million in savings.
I got a better option for you, Fish. We could trade one of our picks for Talisi Fuaga for the Saints.
Gesundheit, Shaq. Who?
Talisi Fuaga, right tackle, Saints.
Which
Just
pick are we
trust me on
talking,
this one.
Shaq?
It'll probably have to be a first.
Oh, I'm sorry,
It'll probably have to
Shaq.
be a
My
first.
internet must have gone out. I didn't quite catch that.
My bad. Pick 18.
I would not. I
Tell
would
him
not.
it's crazy.
I would not cut Brian O'Neill because now you just made a third position that is super weak on the. We're already weak at safety. We're weak at defensive line. Like these are our weakest points, and you cut that tackle. Now you're weak at tackle. So you got to figure out a way to just probably spend some pretty good money, big money, to fill those spots, to fill that type of player out, that type of performance that you're going to get out of each year.
I bet we could find somebody 27, 28 years old, sign him for 3 years, and they could perform just about as well as him for less money on the cap.
Then what are you doing at safety?
I don't know, man. Caleb Downs has a degenerative knee. We're going to draft him with number 18.
Then what we're doing at defensive line?
Pick number 49 is going to be Mr. Hunter. What next, son?
Yeah. Now you got cornerback. That's a tier below that.
Oh, well, now we're in lower tiers. We went into the season last year with 3. We can go in with 2. We don't need more.
We had a strong looking offensive line last year at the end of the season. I like to keep it intact. We have 2 good offensive tackles, which teams struggle to get what we have, and I don't think that they're going to give up their bookends.
Yeah,
Especially when we've had a deficiency at quarterback.
I mean, well, Jawan Taylor just
I
got
honestly
cut.
think you're right.
Jawan Taylor just got cut from the Chiefs. I don't know if we could put him at right tackle.
Oh, you don't want Jawan Taylor.
I know I don't, but
I'll tell you who I don't want.
tackles don't grow on trees.
I don't
Cody.
want Will Fries.
You don't?
Will Fries ended up playing better
No.
too at the end of the season.
Let me tell you something.
Okay, go ahead. Tell me something.
He don't have Ryan Kelly next to him anymore. He don't have that connection. Will Fries is my second candidate for ass player of the year. He's, you know how they have the most improved player, comeback player, whatever. He gonna be the ass player. He gonna be the one who falls off and is a detriment to our offensive line this year.
How bad is Justin Jefferson going to be this year, Fish? Just do it.
Justin Jefferson will play 17 games and might get 600 yards receiving. He will throw for more touchdowns than he catches.
You know that there's got to be a line, Fish. There's got to be a line to this.
I done told you I'm going to challenge my superpower this year.
You got OKC Vikes checking out on us now. Wow. Tell them you're kidding. Tell them you're kidding.
I can't just come out and say something like that, Keith, because that nullifies my superpower.
Okay, understood. So what do you guys think about Hargrave and Allen being let go? Do you think that was the right decision? Even though we're going to be eating a lot of dead cap space, we'll be eating $10.5 million for Hargrave, and we'll be eating 11.5 or 12 for Jonathan Allen.
So it was the right decision only because we don't have cap space. If they would have played a little better, it would have made this decision a little more difficult. But for the amount of money we was paying them and for the production we got and for where we're at as an NFL team, we could not afford to pay them that contract. Yeah, we could have kept them another year, but I don't think they would have improved on from what they gave us last year. Not saying they was horrible, but they just wasn't good enough for the contract we gave them. So it was the right time. It's better to do it now and then address the position than to keep them for another year.
And Lowe is mad about Aaron Jones being cut because she had just made friends with him and he made her all these promises, and so far none of those are coming true, damn it. Mm-hmm. I'm still holding out hope for the Harrison Smith one. We'll see.
So, okay, last year on day 2 of I'm kind of crossed up. I don't know when I said it. Did I say it after we signed Byron Murphy to that stupid contract? Or did I say it after we signed Jonathan Allen to that stupid contract? Where I said Quasi needs to be let out of the building in handcuffs?
Murphy.
I think it was Murphy.
Okay. So then I was really hot when we signed Jonathan Allen to that stupid contract. I think I might have been punching air. And I was really rooting for Hargrave. I was really rooting for him. I thought I was excited about Hargrave, and he had 2 good games. He had 2 good games, and that's it.
Did you even get to wear a jersey twice?
You know what's funny?
I'm going to beat you up next time I see you.
You know what's funny though?
I'm not coming.
Going to the Codyism of last year.
I see what you did there.
Going to the Codyism of last year. It was funny because Cody brought up about us having Jonathan Allen, and like, you know what good Jonathan Allen did? When he played the Detroit Lions, he was able to shut down that run game. And what did we do this year? We shut down their run game. So I just found it funny that I had to bring that back up about Jonathan Allen. Because I remember Cody hammering that in our head about why Jonathan Allen was a good signing.
Gibbs didn't do anything, even though there was somebody who predicted that he'd have like over 300 yards rushing against us in 2 combined games. I don't even think he had 80.
Shut down the run game. The Lions fans got mad at me because I said all they do is shut down their run game. You shut down their offense.
Yep. Then what do you guys make of Javon Hargrave retweeting that tweet that said that someone on X had tweeted that if you're a DL that wants to get to the quarterback, the Brian Flores system isn't for you. And Hargrave retweeted that, kind of insinuating that the reason he didn't have a bunch of sacks this year was because of Brian Flores' defensive system. What are you guys making of that?
Second year in a row, defensive tackle brought something up about that. I think Harrison Phillips did it too last year. So, I mean, I hope we don't scare no defensive tackles through free agency, but it's your fault, man. You're the one out there playing the game, right? You're going. Brian Flores isn't telling you to, hey, don't rush the quarterback. I'm pretty sure there's multiple plays out there to where you had the chance to rush the quarterback. So garbage.
We had
Jalen Redmond didn't have a problem.
Yeah, we had a guy get 6 sacks that Fish thought should be bagging groceries. So
stalwart.
So to me, I don't know. It seems like kind of sour grapes, but I can understand it. You know, you just got told that you're going to be getting cut, but if you want to play football, dude, you're going to get signed by somebody. I don't think it's a good look to go out there and blame the DC for your down season.
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time you had an up season?
Like 2 years
Philly.
ago. Last year he got injured in the second game of the season and missed the whole season.
Okay, so once again, when was the last time you had a good season?
The season before that one. I think he had 10 sacks.
Okay.
Which is why we were excited about him, because he does have the ability to get to the quarterback. And I do feel that he kind of had that a little bit of Greenard to him where he was getting to the quarterback but not finishing. And that has nothing to do with the system.
Yeah.
You know, man. So who just said that? Was that you, Cody, or Fish that said that Harrison Phillips said the same thing? But I don't ever remember Harrison Phillips being a guy that got to the quarterback ever in his career, even before he came to the Vikings. Even when we had Donatel, I don't remember that being part of his game. He's a run stuffer.
And that's not even part of Hargrave's game. He is a run stuffer. Like,
that's what I'm thinking, though. Because B-flow defense is not really meant for our defensive line to get to the quarterback. It's a bonus, but your goal is to clog up the holes and then collapse the pocket. And then that's why we blitz, because we have the linebackers or sometimes a cornerback or safety get in the backfield on touch to, get the sack.
And let me I hate to say this because he's been gone for a year. Harrison Phillips, prior to coming to us, was the Buffalo Bills' third-string defensive tackle. The fuck does he know about getting to the quarterback? He barely saw the field with them. I mean, and sorry for dropping that F-bomb, but
you're doing so good.
And then he comes to us, and I called him one play for a reason. He'd show up for one play a game.
So
I mean, that ain't system.
Hargrave's 17 game average for sacks is 5.5. He had 3.5 with us this year, so almost his average. So it just really seems like it's sour grapes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but that's just not the way to go out. Fish, what did you say about when you give your 2-week notice or when you're leaving?
You give it your all. You make them miss you right till the last minute. You work till the last minute, and when you're gone, you make them say, "Damn, I wish we had him back."
Mm-hmm. Lo, you are right. There is always cussing in football, but sometimes Spotify doesn't like it. And then Keith has to go through and edit it. And when you got to do that after an episode that Zoe was on, you get tired.
I think you cut that whole section.
No, I left it, but I went and bleeped every F-bomb.
So let me ask you a question, Keith.
I don't know why people care so much that I support KOC, but apparently they do. So we've talked about those two on the defensive line. There's another guy, Greenard, that we've lightly mentioned but haven't really got into yet. So let's get into it. Last year he had the saying that more is required, meaning more is required of the players to go further, to go deeper, to make a playoff run. He's once again saying it this year. More is required, but he's talking about money. He wants to get paid more while the Vikings are trying to shed some salary cap. He's saying that he wants to be paid more. It has come out that the Vikings are exploring trade options with him because right now he's due $22.1 million, but none of that's guaranteed. The Vikings could cut him and save $12 million to the cap. Same thing with a trade. What do you guys think about the prospect of Greenard not being on this team next year?
I think Dallas Turner made it very possible for us to be able to do it.
Are you buying the Dallas Turner stock like that he could be our starter for the full season?
Yeah, he found his side. That Greenard side, he excelled in that Greenard side. I didn't notice Greenard was gone. As a matter of fact, got more sacks from Greenard, didn't he? Almost sacks. Almost got him. Pressures count. No. 3rd and 15 instead of 3rd and 6 counts.
I hope you're right about Dallas Turner. I think he proved that he's a player in this league. I don't know if he's proven that he can be one of the elites yet. And that's kind of, I mean, I use elite kind of lightly if I'm putting Greenard as elite. But Greenard is one of the top pass rushers. I would like to have him on this team if we're trying to win in 2026. I think he helps us do that. But seeing that he's asking for more money, I think I got to be out on it because you just saw Danielle Hunter got $40 million for next season, and he's looking at that. So he's probably looking at least what $32 million.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I could take that ride. What realistically do you think we can get in a trade for him, Cody?
You're definitely getting a day 2 pick. I think you're going to get a 2nd round and a day 3 pick for him. Only because the NFL right now values edge rushers so much. We just watched Danielle Hunter get 1 year, $40 million, right? So they value edge rushers as right behind the quarterback, top tier. So they're going to be paying for an edge rusher. And Jonathan Greenard is going to get offers to us. I think it's going to be a 2nd rounder and a day 3 pick. The edge position is too valued right now in the NFL.
You might get a 2nd round pick, but you definitely getting a 3rd. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that we get a 2nd round pick because I think teams know that if we're trading him, we're more trying to shed salary, and they know that they got to pay him, pretty hefty. But let's be honest, it's they're not trading for Max Crosby.
Well, you see, if you cut him, then he has the choice to pick who has the bigger pockets, right? If you trade him, you don't have the choice. So now here, this is what we're going to give you on this, and that's what you're going to get paid.
All right. So wouldn't the Vikings, knowing that, wouldn't you be like, all right, you're going to cut him. Here's a 4th. No, you'd rather cut him than take the 4th?
He has 0 leverage. All right, you're not getting paid. We're not trading you. I'm sorry. You're under contract.
But then you're paying him $23 million. See, right now that money's not guaranteed.
Yeah, that's fine. We have all the leverage in the world with Greenard.
Doesn't that actually, Keith, give flexibility to a potential trade partner? When a player's got a bit, like let's say Kyler Murray, right? He's got that money there. All right, that's a bad example. Let's say you've got Justin Jefferson, right? They don't have a lot of leverage to work with this contract. They can restructure. But if you get a guy who has no guaranteed money and you trade him, they can sign him to a contract and do all kinds of crazy stuff with the money to keep, they could make, $5 million count towards the cap this year and then go get somebody else or, something like that versus somebody who's in a structured agreement probably leaves them a little bit less.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, that can happen, but I'm going to say no, that doesn't necessarily make it better because you don't know what you're going to have to pay him. All you know is he wants to be paid more than that $23 million. So you're coming out of pocket more than that, but you don't know exactly what he wants yet. So you have to make the trade, and then you have to go into negotiations. If he's already signed to guaranteed money, it's okay. You know what you're trading for. Okay, that's what he's getting paid.
He's banking on a cut because he knows he can get paid through free agency.
Do you think the Vikings would cut him, or would they pay him the $23 million?
I think they trade him.
If a trade doesn't materialize.
I don't see a world where a trade doesn't materialize.
Well, they let Greenard go. Angel Dust says ultimately Houston let Greenard go for a reason. Well, because they got Danielle Hunter.
Yep. Must be nice.
Be nice if we had a Danielle Hunter, huh?
What could we do with a guy on the edge like that?
Get to the quarterback without blitzing.
Somebody would obviously trade for him, Boyd says. And yeah, I do think that somebody will obviously trade for him. I just don't know if we're going to get the kind of return we're hoping to get in said trade.
I think we're getting a second. I think that's
perfect.
If anything, it's going to be a second.
I'd be okay with that.
Just settle for a second.
I would take a second. I just don't know that we're getting it.
Oh yeah, what Unk said right here: a second and a day 3 pick, second and a fifth.
I'll tell you who I think would be interesting because they just decided to let Trey Hendrickson go to free agency would be the Bengals. And I think that's what pick 42. What makes you say they're not going to pay?
Because they're paying their wide receivers $70 million.
Yeah.
Oh, that's where we're going to, right, Shaq?
They don't want to pay their defense. Like, look, you're on the team. The goal is to win a Super Bowl while we pay Joe Burrow in our office.
What about Greenard for Mac Jones?
I don't think Mac Jones is worth a second. I'm sorry.
I fully expect Robbie to hit the comments right. 5, 4, 3, 2. Don't you dare hold that send button because I'm counting down, Robbie.
No.
That would have been pretty funny.
I'd rather keep Greenard for his contract than to trade him for Matt Jones and nothing else.
Yeah, I would take the second, but we'll have to see how that goes. But it's kind of crazy if Greenard does end up leaving one way or another. All of a sudden, man, our edge and defensive tackle becomes a bigger need than we thought a few weeks ago.
And remember that report at the Combine that said we were looking at edges a lot? Maybe we knew about this way beforehand than what the news dropped today.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. They had to start looking. Our season been over for a long time. So they had to start figuring out who's going to be here next year.
Damn, Shaq. Oh, I mean, I think you hit my childhood with that one, Shaq.
Hey, man. I was on vacation when I said this. I'm like, our season's over. I'm just glad I'm in vacation.
We knew when he sent on Twitter the ... after the Super Bowl. That's when we knew. Yep, you're going to be something to deal with in the offseason.
They said the team to watch out for is Seattle. They might want to trade for Greenard.
If they trade for Greenard, then we have to sign Kenneth Walker with that money that we saved.
Oh yeah, I think Greenard fits in the Chargers, Los Angeles Chargers role very well, where Khalil Mack used to be, and they lost Bosa. So
I'd rather have Greenard over Gink long term. Well, of course, long term because Van Ginkel's older, Tommy, but he's not the one that's asking for more money. He already did that. We already gave it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he already got his.
I don't think Greenard is still injured, Jay, but he does want to get paid.
Yeah, he would have to pass a physical before he gets paid.
Is defensive tackle now like our number one need going into the draft?
Safety and defensive tackle. I'm either drafting or I'm paying. You got to figure that out.
Yeah,
I thought going into the offseason might have been cornerback, but now it might be defensive tackle because like who do we have at defensive tackle now? We got Jalen Redmond, who we did sign to his exclusive rights deal, which just means we're going to extend him.
Dawkins.
Levi Drake Rodriguez, Fish's favorite Tyrion Ingram Dawkins. I'm missing somebody.
Taki, Tamanani, or whatever.
Taki.
Elijah Williams.
That guy.
That's our defensive line right now.
And then you got
so about Tyrion Ingram Dawkins. Don't count him. He's gonna be on the practice squad. He's not even making the 53. Tell you right now, what do you have about 6 snaps last year? And he might have disappeared the entire time. The only thing he was famous for was trying to stop that tush push because he lined up on his belly and tried to subvert. I mean, let's not even get me going on the hyphenated last name thing. Anyhow.
Don't use all your power in one night, Fish. It's all.
No. You think I'm done after tonight? See you next week.
I think
Fish is going to be. I
think Fish is going to be Mr. Positivity when we do schedule predictions.
Oh, it depends on who. If we sign Kyler Murray, I might have us at 4 wins, Cody.
Is there going to be an after party with Zoe tonight? That was funny. I don't think so, OKC, but I could see him showing up to the Skol and Chill tomorrow night. So, yeah, I do think defensive tackle is going to become a bigger need, and now I think got to be looking maybe like at Caleb Banks, the number 18 pick if he falls there. But we did just see the combine last week. Did you guys develop any new crushes during that combine?
Oh, yeah. He's not even in a position that we need right now, unless a man named Brian O'Neill, Fish's boy, is kicked out. I'm talking about the red hair, swanging, girl stealing, mullet wearing, dinking. That dude running that 40, watching his hair flow throughout it. And he's an Iowa guy. He's a Hawk guy. It was just a thing of beauty. I thought Quinn Marinez, that all-pro guard from Denver, and I was like, that's the guy. If we're moving on from O'Neal, that's the guy. And I will draft him in the first round, even though he's not a first-round player. That's the guy.
Just because of the mullet?
Just because of that mullet. I need something.
Do not underestimate the power.
Yeah, the mullet. I need someone that looks mean. He's all fucking party in the back, and he's business in the front, and that's where
125, Keith.
He's going to be business in the front. Give me that boy from Iowa.
What about you, Shaq?
I don't know that I got a draft crush, but I was pretty happy for Mike Washington. For him hitting that 4.33 40. Look, if that helps his draft stock, that's beautiful. Good for that guy. He was really emotional when he saw a score. I would love to see it on his pro day if he could shave that 3/100ths off and get to that 4.3 flat. That puts him in Kenny Nwangu speed right there. And I know how much you loved Kenny, Keith. You were so sad when we lost him, when we cut him and he signed with somebody else. And
I was devastated.
I asked somebody who's really well known on the Razorbacks, and he gave a full vouch of approval for Mike Washington. He said he's a big, versatile back. He'll be great in the NFL. Well, he said he'll be good in the NFL. He didn't say great. So if we could manage to snag him on a day 3 pick, if we can get there, that would be a coup d'etat right there, baby.
Yes, sir. I'm all in on him. I think I got him over Emmett. Sorry, Cody. But I mean, if we can get either one of those guys with our comp pick for losing Sam Darnold, I think we did okay.
Yeah.
I kind of fell for Avon Terrell. Like before, when he was mocked to us, I wasn't really feeling it. There was other cornerbacks that I wanted, but seeing how he moved out there, I really don't care about the 40. I care like seeing how you move in the drills. He's very fluid. So he's someone that I would be interested in 18 if we don't end up going defensive tackle. And yes, I would love to get Mike Washington in the 3rd round.
And, here's another thing, just an addendum, because y'all know it's well documented. I don't watch college football. But seeing Love, do the exercises and all that, it really made me think back to what I was thinking while I was watching us get curb stomped at the home opener by Atlanta. and I was watching Bijan Robinson run all over us. I was like, I wish I missed that. And I'm just looking at Love and I'm going, if we drafted him, I'm not saying he'd be Adrian Peterson. I'm just saying that would be a premier back in the league. We would have a top 5 running back in the league if KOC would give him the ball. I would be excited if suddenly they made the move up and got him. That would charge me up.
Reminder, Goff and Baker were both former first overall picks on crappy teams. Now look at them. They're doing great on their new team. This could be Kyler with the Vikings.
It's possible. Going back.
Goff's doing great on that absolutely loaded roster Detroit Lions team. You don't say. Put him on the Jets and let's see how he does.
We got an absolutely loaded offense.
Going back to what Fish was saying about the running back, pretty much I feel like that would change our offense dramatically. We won't have to depend on the quarterback to be Patrick Mahomes out there. If we get a running back that could basically make the defense play closer to the line of scrimmage. But my player for the combine that stuck out to me would be, I wanted to go Sonny Styles, but he's the fan favorite. But you just brought him up, Keith. Dylan Diamond.
Eminem.
Him. He showed that, because I know last year me and Cody was talking about, next year safeties, you got the guy from Oregon and you got Caleb Downs, who's going to be the top 2 safeties. He kind of fell off, but when he showed up at the combine, he showed that he's fast and he got fluid hips. And he low-key could play the Josh Metellus role, free safety or strong safety. So I wouldn't mind him. I'm not going to be a huge fan if we had to pick him at 18, but I won't be mad. He showed out, and he showed that he deserved to be at least early second, late first round. And he ran a 4.3 something. As Keith said, was the slowest 4.3 he ever seen.
It did. It looked labored when they put the time up. I was like, whoa. Swiss Army knife. I feel like that's getting used a lot for players these days.
I actually hate seeing that.
I know you hate seeing it, Fish, but like more and more, like football players are becoming positionless. It's like becoming the standard.
Yeah, I mean,
like, you play linebacker. What else do you do?
That's because they trying to find that mismatch. Like, instead, because the goal is for the defense to have a bunch of players that could play in your base defense, so you can confuse the offense. So you don't have to always constantly rotate players in and out on the field when the offense is calling the play. If you can keep your base defense in and still get pressure and still cover, then you're beating the offense. But once you got to start rotating guys to counter what the offense is doing, that's when you know it's gonna be a tougher battle.
Thank Cordell Stewart for that. Slash.
Keith, I'm sorry. I'd love to buy into your argument, but they did not put Dallas Turner back at safety last year. Had they have done that, I might agree with you, but they did not. And now it looks like we're going to trade Greenard, which is going to put Dallas Turner further away from the position he was obviously born for, which is safety.
You're not giving Brian Flores enough credit, my friend.
I'm not giving everybody any credit.
I will say,
imagine being able to take Dallas Turner, move him down to play edge, move him back into coverage as a safety. Oh, he's going to lay the lumber to anybody. Oh, just chef's kiss.
I will say, depending on who our inside linebackers are, we might be able to move Dallas Turner from edge to inside linebacker, and they don't know where he's playing. That might be the only transition.
Who's got one?
A
Gjallarhorn, or is that Purple Prophecy?
That's a Gjallarhorn. That's a horn.
Yeah.
Let me see. Hold on. I gotta drink some of this Long Island iced tea to get one.
I'm gonna go with. I think the Minnesota Vikings knew about the Greenard situation way before Greenard posted something on Twitter. Way before he's asking for the raise. I think they knew about the raise was coming. That's why he became a trade candidate. I think it came after he put the 3 dots on Twitter after Sam Darnold won a Super Bowl, right? He said something, we need more is needed, right? And then they saw that we took away the more, right? A chunk of it. And then Sam Darnold goes out and wins the Super Bowl. When he put the 3 dots, he sold himself out of the Minnesota Vikings.
Yeah, I don't buy that. I mean, they might have known that they were going to get rid of him because of the salary cap issues, but I don't think his tweet that after Sam Darnold won the Super Bowl, ... like, oh, that's it. That's the final straw. We're getting rid of this guy.
I don't know. Sam Darnold winning the Super Bowl got our GM fired, right? So, I mean, we're just going to blame everything on Sam Darnold winning the Super Bowl.
He's tweeted a lot worse. He's very active on the X.
Doorknob.
Or not.
Okay. I'm ready to go. Minnesota Vikings are waiting to discharge Ryan Grigson until after the draft.
Why?
They need somebody of GM caliber in there while they're doing their draft.
God, that makes me feel terrible then. If that's their guiding light, because he's a part of the mess of these last 4 drafts.
Yeah. I'll have to say it pretty much depends on now who is gonna be the voice of the draft. Is it gonna be KOC saying he want this player, this player, this player? Or is it gonna be B-Flow saying he want this player, this player, this player? And who are they saying that to? Is it gonna be pretty much Rob Brzezinski? And is he gonna fight back, or is he just gonna say, okay, yeah, we can go grab him? Do we trust our coaches to say we need this certain type of player so we could go further this current roster? Which I don't see it as a bad thing. It's just, are our coaches capable of identifying players in the draft to make their scheme work to be one better than a current NFL regime?
I think we'll find out the way free agency goes. I mean, that's the first test before the draft. Like, how are we going to do with signing free agents when we don't have a GM? But to your first question, I think it's going to be KOC and Brian Flores, coming up with what they want, and ultimately it's going to be Rob Brzezinski making the final decision. But I think it'll first be kind of like KOC and B-Flow talking out a strategy and trying to come to an agreement first. And then
which I have nothing against.
And if they're kind of butt heads and no, I want it. Then I think, Robbie's got to kind of step in and say, all right, this is what I'm thinking.
We will know, Shaq, right? If it's KOC's draft, he's picking the players, is when he picks up that phone to talk to that draft pick and he doesn't say, we are fired up to have you here. That's when you're going to know when KOC picked the player.
Go off the script.
Go off the script. If you look at all those draft picks they were drafting, every time you picked up the phone up, we're fired up to have you here. We're fired up to have you here on all the drafts. And it's like, why does he keep saying the same thing? Like, why is that his go-to? But yeah, a little joke.
So 6-shooter Nathan says, as much as he says he doesn't want the job, he's literally showing that he's capable of doing the job. I'm not there yet. He hasn't done anything that we have mentioned leading up to this to be the moves that the Vikings need to make in order to get cap compliant and to be able to go out there and make some moves in free agency.
Is he talking about Rob Brzezinski?
Yeah. Go out there and make some moves to bring in some free agents, have a nice draft, and then we could talk. But the players that he cut, none of them were that shocking. The only one that might have been a little bit shocking was Jonathan Allen because of how much dead cap we have to eat. That will be determined later if that ended up being a good move or not. But all the other cuts, we expected that. We said that those were going to happen. The rest were restructures. That didn't fix anything. That just pushed the problem down the line, which I get it. That's just the way the NFL works, and that's the way it's going to continue to work. But he hasn't done anything that makes you say, man, that guy is a general manager. Not yet.
Yeah. It's still early in the Rob Brzezinski GM role for us to decide if he's a good GM or not. Right now, he's doing what he basically did his whole career, which is get the team to cap compliancy. So he hasn't done anything really GM worthy yet for us to decide if he's good or not.
And Robbie is saying what I was saying to you guys right before the show. It's a minor race for him with a possibility of his head being on a chopping block. Right now, Rob Brzezinski is loved for the job that he does, patted on the back for the things he does, gets blamed for nothing. He would be taking a major risk doing this, of being hated and losing his job within a year. He is good where he's at.
Yeah, I mean, all they ask him to do is work out the contract. It's a tedious job. It's like, defined work that you have to go back and forth with your agents to get a contract going. But
and if you believe the rumors that came out, if they're true, where they talked about how Kwesi didn't want what Jonathan Allen, he thought the price was too steep. So the Wolf said to Rob B, go get it done. I mean, we didn't know that, right? We didn't know that Rob B was active, if it's true. We didn't know that he was active in signing these people that the ownership wanted, that Kwesi was slowballing. So yeah, he had a lot of layers of protection in his existing role. Oh yeah, we became cap compliant. He's smart. He's a wizard about it and all that. Hey Rob, I need you to go do this real quick. I need you to do this dirty work for me. And nobody knew. So yeah, I mean, he would be putting himself out there.
And I want that. That's a GM. I want the guy to put himself out there. Right. And what he's been able to do with contracts. Like, we're always in cap hell, but we find our way out of it, and we still sign players that are really good. We were at cap hell when we got Zadarius Smith, I'm pretty sure. We ended up we just found he found ways to restructure the salary cap to where the salary cap is a myth, like people like to say now. He just disregards it and, like, I can fix it. And I want a guy that says, you know what, I can fix this. And he does it. I want the results. Those are results on the money end. Now, to take that risk to be the GM, to want to do this risk, that's the type of GM I want, because he's going to take those risks instead of being, I want to play it safe. I'm going to get multiple draft picks out of this draft, and I'm going to get me Lewis Cine and a cornerback in the second round. Taking those, I know that's not taking a risk. That's you playing it safe. I want you to take the risk, go out there and get the best guy that's available. Right? If he turns out to be a bust, at least you went out and you took that goddamn risk.
I don't know if I'm against Rob B being the general manager because I don't have confidence in him, or if it's I just want something flashy. I'm just being honest with that. I think I kind of just want that fresh, someone coming from a winning franchise that's been a part of it, some like a flashy move. Rob Brzezinski would not be flashy at all. That'd be the most boring, dull thing. And okay, maybe that's what we need. And that's fine. So just because I'm saying that I don't think Robbie's the guy doesn't mean it doesn't end up the best thing. It's just, I guess I'm looking for more of a splash.
I want a football guy.
And that kind of leads to what D Woods was saying with the Wilfs, pretty much they don't like to hire somebody with experience. They like to kind of get somebody new to the job field and then just hire him. So I mean, at this point, I'm okay with giving him a chance, but listen here, Ziggy and other Wilf, Mark, do not let Rob B just be the only option for GM. He's okay for now, but also look out and go find other GMs, other candidates to compete with Rob Brzezinski for the GM. Because y'all been owners of the Minnesota Vikings for a long enough time, and the goal for your team and what the fans want is a Super Bowl. We don't want just playoff appearances here and there and a playoff win. We actually want to see a Super Bowl win.
That's actually a good point. Like, if they do end up going with Robbie, I hope that they at least did some interviews.
They got to. Like, there's only a certain amount of time where you could pretty much fool somebody into thinking that you care about them. After a certain point, they're gonna start to notice you don't really care about me.
Yeah, Shaq, but they have the safety net of being able to say to Rob, "We're going to put you back where you were," and Rob will probably be like, oh, whew, "Okay." I mean, it's nice to have that job security. He's exploratory right now. Let's see how you handle this. Let's see how you do in free agency. Let's see how you handle leading up to the draft and executing the draft. And if it don't work out, Rob, guess what? You back behind the veil, manipulating the numbers, being loved and adored.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Give
George.
him a chance, but don't just don't just make him the only option and then we back to square one, scrambling for GMs. We need to start searching for one now, and then be like, "Oh, Rob Brzezinski did so much for us, we don't need one," and that'd be best case scenario.
Hey, so Shaq, let me ask you this question on optics, right? Because they've said we're not going to hire a GM until after the draft. Where's that spot to start interviewing then if they're going to interview candidates? Do they hire a couple of days? Do they interview a couple of days after? Do they wait just a little bit to give better optics? Where's the good optics on that?
So the good optics would be if they smart to do interviews right now, but don't hire. Just talk, casual talking right now, and then come back next year during off season, be like, "Well, I liked him last year back when we interviewed him. Let's take him in for another interview." So you save yourself time for doing it next year when we don't win a Super Bowl, probably. So you like, okay. So you be basically ahead of everybody else interviewing for GM candidates. So we could do it now. Tell them we're not going to hire you right now. But if nobody else hire you, we'll give you a call for a second interview. Which is pretty much what I'm saying. Do it right now, but don't hire nobody. Give Rob Brzezinski until the draft and then see how the team does. But we already have a head start on the rest of the NFL.
Have you noticed how there hasn't been any word leaked out about how they were interviewing candidates? Because nobody is going to interview for a job right now thinking, "Oh, I can get this next year." They're not going to waste their time.
If it's not a former GM coming in for the role of our GM, I don't want it. I'd rather have Rob B. Because they're just going to do the same thing. They're going to bring in a GM who's never drafted, who's never done free agency, just like Rob B. The only thing Rob B has a step ahead is with contracts and salary. So why not?
Okay, but Colt, what if he fails and you have to fire him? Now you just fired your cap guy too.
Well, why are we going to fire him? Why can't we move him back into the same position and then go get a?
I don't think it works that way, man.
I think it can work that way.
I don't.
To be fair, we did hire a second cap guy.
Who's only a consultant until the draft, Shaq.
He's a consultant.
Just in case we have to fire our cap guy. We
now.
got his backup. We got Brosma to the JJ McCarthy.
Oh man. All right. Let me do it. Let's go ahead and get to our triple prophecies and make these predictions while Shaq's down in that IPA.
I see why you drank these double IPAs.
Oh, they'll mess you up, man. It'll be draft night all over, bro.
Yeah. Draft night. That was like my last big night drink.
Shaq, you all right?
I'm good.
And then it woke us up.
All right, well, let's go ahead and make these predictions and we'll get out of here. Michael Fish, what do you got?
So a few weeks ago, my purple prophecy was that the very first move we were going to make in free agency was we were going to re-sign Harrison Smith. I still stand by that. Our first 2 days of free agency, the first 2 days of first wave of free agency, the only signings that we're going to make are on players who were on last year's roster. We're not bringing anybody new in the first 2 days of free agency.
So when we're doing this show next Thursday, we will not have signed anybody that wasn't a Viking last year. Ouch. What about you, Shaq?
My purple prophecy is Jordan Addison will re-sign a contract before the end of this year.
Talking about an extension or a 5th-year option?
It'll be an extension because he re-signed.
Okay. What do you got, Cody?
So I'm gonna go with the easy one because I need some stats. My stuff is bad. And last week, I think I just lost another one by saying JJ McCarthy will be the starter next year. I'm gonna go with Kyler Murray will be the Minnesota Vikings starter for the 2026-27 season. I need a win.
Damn, you definitely
It's probably gonna be Gino. It's probably gonna be Gino, and I just lost that too.
Yeah, you might have just jinxed it. If that's what you wanted to happen, you might have just jinxed it, man. I really don't have one for free agency, so I'm going to go ahead and make my first draft one. And that is the Minnesota Vikings will not pick at number 18 in the first round.
I hope not.
So I don't know.
I
don't know if they're going up. I don't know if they're going down, but they ain't sticking around.
I hope they trade up.
Yeah, I hope they don't trade back, but I hope they trade up.
Robbie's like, well, this worked out good for Quasi, so let me go ahead and trade back to 31.
Yeah,
Caleb Downs is going to be sitting there, and they're going to be like, we're going to trade back 10 spots.
Yeah, and we're going to get a safety.
EMW. Bust.
We are trading spots with the Niners. Hey, Robbie, I had mentioned earlier, and I thought I had summoned you, but you did not show up. I had asked, should the Vikings offer the 49ers Jonathan Greenard for Mac Jones?
And when do free agency start?
They could start the legal tampering on Monday, but the actual first day is Wednesday. But like Monday is when all the action happens.
You're going to know it on Monday. It's just not going to become official.
That's when the Twitter feeds are just going off.
Well, I do know one contract we're going to know by Monday. It's going to be Kirk. Because he's already talking to teams.
He's going to get up on that press conference and be like, so I had a great time last week talking with this.
And my PA's hitting, bro.
We ain't got the wobble shack yet.
He's got the hiccups.
No, I just got the hiccups.
Hey, Zoe, just to be clear, I don't want Mac Jones. I was just throwing it out there for Robbie, who is a big Mac Jones fan. Minnesota Vikings will pick the best player on the board at 18. All right, I see you, 6-shooter. Hey, Jay Vikings, I don't know what time. Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern? That sounds about right.
That's usually how it goes.
I got to get Shaq out of here. All right, we're going to wrap this up a little bit earlier than we normally do, but that's because we are going to be back tomorrow night doing a Skol and Chill. And once again, that's when we send out the link for you guys to go ahead and click, and you guys jump on the show and talk with us and give us your thoughts and your takes of anything Vikings related, anything football related, really just anything. Sometimes we start talking about stuff that isn't football on the Skol and Chill, and that's okay. Because really it's just Viking fans conversating, hanging out on a Saturday night together, and we let people watch if they're into that kind of thing. Cody, I had a straight face until you laughed.
Clip that. Keep that the intro.
Hey, Theo, man, I better see you tomorrow night, bro. We haven't heard from you.
Been a while, Theo. Been a while.
Been a while, so we need to hear from you for sure tomorrow, Theo. All right, Shaq, final words.
Final words. Thanks for everybody who tuned in this Friday evening. Pretty much, it's about to be draft season, so we're gonna start doing our prospects for the draft. So tune into that. Also, if you're feeling real generous, you can send donations to the Let's Go podcast at Cash App Let's Go $, or clicking the $ on YouTube. And that's all I got. Wow, hiccup away.
Thank you, Shaq. Thank you, Shaq. Michael Fish, what do you got?
I got nothing. For Vikings fans, by Vikings fans, thanks for everybody for joining us. Oh man, be safe out there to 20 more years. Let's go.
All right, Fish, you can have final words tomorrow night.
Okay.
Cody, final words. Sparky, what's up, man?
Oh man. Hey, it's Friday night. I know you're all gonna go out either tonight or tomorrow before the Skol and Chill. But just make sure you guys have a plan. You know where you're going. You got everything figured out for you. And also, again, hey, y'all listen to us. We can listen to you. So if you got one of those bad moments, hey, just hit us up. We will talk, man, if you need it. Other than that, just stay safe out there. Yeah. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right, that's our show for the night. We'll be back next week on Thursday doing free agency stuff. But again, before that, we will be live tomorrow night. Haven't quite settled on a time, but it'll be around the same time that this show starts, maybe a little bit earlier, but around the same time. There'll be a link on YouTube hours before we do it. So join us. We want to hear from you guys. I'm sure you guys have had some stuff that maybe you feel we haven't addressed in the comments that you want to, be heard about. Bring that stuff to the table tomorrow. Bring your drinks. Let's talk Vikings. Let's talk life. Let's just talk. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Let's Skol.
Let's go.
Let's go! For Viking fans, Minnesota Vikings.